Good afternoon, everyone. Archaeological finds in Pakistan, new archaeological finds in Nicaragua show us we are in a cycle again. And how would you get the world's gold consolidated into a couple pickup locations called central banks? You'd have to have the excuse of the economy collapsing, so they would move to gold. Let's talk about it. Let's start with the cycle. Here's an image of the Sphinx from above. As you can see, that head is not proportionally correct to the rest of the body, recarved. Something in history amiss with that, especially the dating. Some would say further back, pre-Younger Dryas, putting us 13,000 years plus age on this one. Think of the condition. Excellent condition on this. Now let's move over to Pakistan, Balochistan Sphinx, the lion of Balochistan. If this is truly a previous version of the Sphinx, this would easily be 30,000 years old. I'll let you decide here as we look through the images. Was this something melted from a plasma discharge? Was this erosion over the tens of thousands of years, not even millennia times 10? Is this a symmetrical complex like we see with Giza as well on a raised plateau, now eroded? These cycles of history continue to move through these epochs of time. And the reason I would point this out to you is the Indus Valley, one of the cradles of civilization, along with Mesopotamia. Early farming cultures are the green triangles. And as we go through stories from more ancient India, the Vedic texts, the Vimanas, the flying craft of ancient technologies once here on our planet, makes you wonder, was this a reset also at this time? Indus civilization are the dark red dots and then the purple squares with a circle in the center there. Those are the modern cities, similar to the same locations that were originally inhabited. So for these 8,000 years plus, we didn't do anything until the last 250 years with technology. Okay, unless we were reset. On purpose, maybe. Natural, maybe. But many a story talk about the value of gold for whatever purpose it might be used for. But those who are on a cycle also come to collect it. Now, it'd be very difficult to run house to house collecting ounces of gold, so you would put it in a central bank. Central banks' substantial gold purchases first quarter of 2024. We are borderline into the obscene buying now as the BRICS nations now consolidate. 58 more countries are going to join BRICS. And you saw Turkey announcing that they're going to side with the BRICS-aligned nations, upsetting NATO. And what will that do with the economy? We're way over here on the right, 2022, 23, 24, and 24 is absolutely going to rocket past the rest. Even if we look at Q1 here, which has already passed the first 3 months of this year, staggering purchase from Turkey, China, India, and wait a second, they already knew they were joining. This is why they're positioning themselves with the gold. But I digress. It puts us in the driver's seat to collect gold into single repository locations. So if you were going to come back on a cycle and collect the gold, you would want it warehoused and stored for easy collection, not in the hands of citizens. Gold investors need to buy the dips. Central banks are. Bloomberg and Citigroup are calling for 3,000 by 2025. TD Securities said silver eyes $50 an ounce. And in 2024, gold is up 18% and silver 35%. Call the proud Americans of the Patriot Gold Group today before it's too late. Mention the Adapt 2030 channel. You're going to get some great in-class service. Also, Patriot Gold Group has a no fee for life IRA where your IRA or 401k can be in physical gold or silver. No fee for life IRA on qualifying rollovers. Give them a call, 888-546-7020. And now on with the video. So this is a complex Rubik's Cube here moving forward. You need to set in motion an enormous amount of factors to bring gold back to the limelight, to allow without any excuses, no excuses needed. Central banks are buying tremendous amounts of gold and warehousing it. Nobody's going to blink an eye. Like unlimited money printing during COVID to allow a ramp up of purchases for who knows what. And what types of technologies have emerged since that time, AI. This is setting a trend line. Clearly, reaction, solution. Problem, solution. Problem, crystal ball for the future. So nobody's really asking, why now is everybody consolidating gold? And what happens when all these countries haven't consolidated? Is it really going to be the base of a new currency, or is it ready for pickup? So we have to put it in motion here. Commodities, the number one performing so far in 2024. And as we move forward into how money is used or not used across planet, this fiat paper stuff, for a better term, you look back in the 1900 era, far left of the chart, and then you see gold was predominantly the reserves of up to 90% even, international reserves. But then over time that has slowly come down. Now what has happened with all that gold that used to be the reserve? Is it really in the central banks? Is it in the hands of people? Where did all that gold go is the question. Because it's sure not reflected as we move into like 2001, further on the right on the chart. But now suddenly people want to get rid of this paper and move it back into gold. But I'm going to ask you, from 1900 until say 1965, where's that gigantic chunk of gold that used to exist on the planet? Is it in private hands? It seems to have disappeared somehow or just reshuffled. You tell me. Because I think the technology was not advanced enough at that time for these same plans that are being implemented right now. I'll bring you over to the Colossi, or the Colossi, however you like to say that. World War I, can you believe this thing? A human was supposed to be in there. You can see the windshield and the way levers and gears were moving. This was supposed to go into the battlefield, obviously a form of a tank. If they had that nearly 100 years ago, why hasn't it advanced? Oh, it has. This is what I talk about, the technology. We're coming into this time now where whatever it is wants to become us, and the technology is advanced enough for us or it to replace or integrate with our physiology. Because what you see, is it real? The technology has advanced so fast in just these last couple of years. I think we're at this singularity which was always been predicted. Is reality, or is this the hologram they talk about cracking through? Again, excuses you need. Collapse the economy. We got the consolidation. Everything goes into a few hands for pickup and delivery. Look at this, 14,000 banks down to 4,000, and some 68 are in extreme duress right now, which are the top ones in the United States. Small businesses unable to pay rent. Of course, we're going into an inflationary, hyperinflationary period across the planet. What do we need? We need gold. Suddenly, it's just all the rage, isn't it? Credit card versus savings rate, that green going down to 3.2%. Personal savings, and as we scale up, whoa, people are living off their credit cards, aren't they? And then we could just shift that over to the EU. I already circled it in orange for you. Those are the contracting economies across Europe: Germany, Ireland, Austria, and Sweden. Again, more reasons to hold gold, aren't there? And one of my favorite charts here, it's really stark, like how much China has issued in its money supply for growth compared to the United States. Everybody's focused on the States, right? Everybody's focused on Europe. Well, those two combined are just one China, and their economy is on the teeters as well. That's why they're moving to gold. And they're trying to feed you, no pun intended, a $12.99 organic ground beef. $12.99 for hamburger. Are you insane that this is normal beef? Skyrocketing. They're getting you ready for inflation. See, you need to move to gold, and you need to have the gold from the central banks in your country so we can come and scoop it up. These are the same people that bring you this type of sky and this geometry in the sky and tell you it's normal. But it's a cycle. It's truly a cycle. So I'll ponder the question for you here. Supposedly Mayans collapsed around 1200 AD. They say the apex period was 800 AD, which coincides with the collapse of the dynasties across China. If you were transcribing history, that is just a hill in 1900. Oh, you theorist, how could you even think there was a previous civilization below Teotihuacan? If that's only a few hundred years of erosion, what do you think would have happened in Pakistan with the Sphinx? Thousands of years exposed in desert environments with the wind. I'm going to bring you to Nicaragua. New discoveries. The name of this place is Indio Maiz, Nicaragua. Notice the stonework and lattice. I haven't seen anything really like this before. It looks very much like dinosaur scales. That's the best way I can describe it. But the stonework is intricate. It's something special. And this type of circular shape is very similar to what was done in Costa Rica with the stone circles, but this is a very different style of doing the exact same thing. I am going to absolutely say this is a part of a reset society. And I feel like I'm just sitting here eating my last meal, watching the world implode on itself, understanding that this is all planned to get the gold back in the right hands. You prepared for the changes? My Patriot Supply and Adapt 2030 3-month emergency food supply. Keep your family safe while the danger passes you by, and then you can go back out in calmer conditions and then resupply. I do hope you got something out of the video. As you can see, the world has spun and something just doesn't seem right. Is your sixth sense kind of tingling right now that way? Something's off kilter here. Please share this with your friends and family so we can start the conversation. Leave some comments below. I'll see you next video. Bye for now.